viable path to get there. If I was an artist myself and I was like looking back at my life and I wanted to give my like 20-year-old self some advice, okay, Emma, talking to you, you're the young one here, it would be like, don't have wife, don't have a significant other, don't have kids, don't have a mortgage, and if you have any of those things, it's just a generalization. You're the young one, and I'm looking at you. So go and do that when you're young. Because if you can do that when you're young, when you don't have the aforementioned significant other and kids and soccer games on Saturdays and a mortgage, that's when you're the freest to be able to do that. And it's totally a viable path. Like, I've got multiple customers that are in their 50s and 60s that did it for years and years and years. One guy I think of, this guy, Bill Stidham, 175,000 miles on his van in 6 years that he just used for his art shows. I mean, he hit it hard. You know what that guy has now? Healthy 6-figure a year business, and he barely does any shows anymore because he built up a list, he built up a customer base, he built up collectors. The third way, okay, is what everybody really truly has to do. It's what you want to do, which is, I know I'm not going to get into a gallery. I know I'm not doing the show and therapy circuit. That's just too much. I can't be that road warrior. So I want to sell direct. I want to understand who's purchasing my work, and it's totally a viable path. It's what we advocate. Here's the rub, though. You have to market your own art. You have to market your own art. There is no one that is going to market it for you. And for some people, that is a painful thing to hear. For most artists and photographers, it's a painful thing to hear, but it's true. Anyone that's been in this business for any period of time knows that you guys are all sold a bill of goods that somehow an artist or a photographer's vocation is just to create this amazing thing, and everything else just happens, and nothing could be further from the truth. You have to get good and understand that marketing yourself is just as important a job as creating what you create. And the sooner you come to terms with that, the way better your life becomes. Why? Because there's never been a better time in the history of the world to do it. Not even close. I mean, for those of us that are older and remember the days before these things existed and before social networks with hundreds of millions of people worldwide were on their phones all day long, do you know how hard it was? Do you know how much harder it was? You were geographically fixed on the planet somewhere, and that's where you started, and that's what you had. You had to grind way harder. Now, if you take your marketing vocation seriously, if you're like, I'm going to get good at this, if you realize that your art business is essentially 2 trains on 2 tracks. Train number 1, your art, your craft, your creations, your subject matter material, your brush, your lens, how good you get with all of that. That train has its own path, and it will go throughout the rest of your career. You want to get better at it. You want to make sure that train has no brakes. The other one is how good you get at marketing yourself. And you need to treat it seriously, and you need to turn it into an art form. And if you understand those 2 things, that is the path that artists and photographers get on, will become successful, will have a business that is growing year after year after year. And I really firmly do believe there's never been a better time in the history of the world to do that. But it's actually simple. Simple, not easy. Not easy in the fact that you guys have to get good at marketing. Not good that you have to take it seriously. Not good that you have to learn how to do this. And nobody likes doing it. I totally get that, okay? I mean, I run the marketing department here. Truth be told, I don't even like doing it, okay? Posting on socials on a regular basis, content marketing, right? Running sales, all the things that you have to do. But I don't know what the alternative is. I don't know what the alternative is. Because of all the tens of thousands of artists and photographers that have come through these Zoom sessions in the last 3 years, there are maybe 1 or 2 that were doing great in the gallery. And I saw specifically, like right when COVID hit and all those gallery people got closed up, those people were flooding into these Zooms going, what do I do? I've got nothing. My income's done, right? It was terrifying. The road warriors are the road warriors. And then there's nothing else. You know, there's nothing else. Like, I've had like 6 people tell me they make more $10,000 a year on Saatchi, Fine Art America, Redbubble. I've had a couple of people on Etsy that are doing like $20,000 or $30,000 a year, but I haven't heard anyone else. So when you realize those odds, and please don't take it cynically, like this is only going to happen for you if you sign up at art storefronts. I don't care where you sign up or what you do, but I do care that if you want to take this business seriously and you want to see it growing year after year, it's the 2 trains, 2 tracks, no brakes. 2 trains, 2 tracks, no brakes. Okay. Now that rant is over with, I call this thing a Q4 Bootcamp, and I love the marathon analogy, all right? I hate running. I will never sign up for a marathon in my life. But I know some people that have, and there's one thing that you notice about those people that sign up for the marathon. As soon as you fill out that form for that miserable activity, your whole life changes. Why? You know the pain is coming. You start eating a little bit better. You start training and taking your exercising more seriously. You start getting better sleep. If it's me, you work on that drinking habit that you have, right? All of these things in your life, you start taking more seriously. And my contention, having been in this business for close to 10 years now and having seen what goes on in Q4, the last 3 months of the year, it's a marathon that you're signed up for, whether you know it or not. And the training that you do between now and then, between the fourth quarter, the buying season, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the roll up to Christmas, all of those sales that are in the water, all throughout that. More art, more photography is sold in the fourth quarter than the other 3 quarters combined almost sometimes. Like our customers that do it well have a good year based on what that fourth quarter is. And so my contention is that you're signed up for that marathon whether you know it or not. And the question is, what are you going to start doing between now and then? What are you going to start doing between now and then to get ready? Because if it's wait until the things start getting colder, kids are back at school, you're running around like a crazy person, next thing you know, it's Thanksgiving. Oh, I gotta have a sale. And then you post something on Facebook and send an email to 6 people. Not going to be good. Not going to be good, right? So we need to start training now, right? We need to start getting our businesses in order now. And there's a number of different ways that you can approach that and that you can contemplate it. But step one in all of it is have it in the back of your head. It's coming. What you do between now and then is going to dictate the level of success that you have, and it is the most important time of the year to be selling. Without question, not even close. And you have to have your art up on the website. You have to start working on an email list. You have to start marketing regularly and consistently on the social media platforms. If you do that now, you're gonna wake up come October and you're gonna be like, oh, got a little momentum in my back. Things actually look pretty good here. People actually know who I am, and I have the ability to market and run some sales when Black Friday and Cyber Monday comes along. So very, very important to understand that happens every single solitary year. Every year it is absolutely fantastic in terms of sales, in terms of art and photography. So all very, very important. Pricing is another big one. And pricing is one of my favorite topics in this business period, right? And do you know what I love more than anything else? All the bullshit advice that's out there based on pricing. Here's the formula that you use for pricing. It's material cost times square inch times media times your time. Yeah, okay, great. Thanks for that. Magic, really. The only thing that matters is whether or not the art sells. There is no magical formula that's going to help you price your art if the art doesn't sell, which is why all of those formulas are nonsense. Pricing is quite simply this. And it's awesome and it's freeing. And once you do it, and once you realize this lesson, and I have like a really in-depth article on this and I'm going to send it to all of you. You, creative types, need to have prices from 0 to 100. You need to have prices from 100 to 1,000. You need to have prices over 1,000. And you need to have one thing in the shop that is obscenely expensive. Okay? And let me break that all down with some real numbers. The 0 to 100 is really, really easy, especially if you're reproducing your artwork in terms of prints. But you also have to have non-wall art as a part of your lineup, okay? It can't just be wall art. And the reason is that not everybody is ready to buy wall art all the time. And so you're out there, you're doing your marketing, you're getting your art, your photography in front of people, and they're like, wow, I really like this person. I really like their creativity. Problem, I'm not in the market for art right now. I want to reward this person for their talent, but I'm not in the market for art right now. If only they had something that was non-wall art related. Oh, they don't. Tell you what, I'll make a mental note to come back here. I'm going to go watch some cat videos, and you know what the masks do there, right? They're not coming back. They're never coming back. So the importance of having the non-wall art is so critical. No one talks about this enough. A business, specifically your guys' businesses, can be judged how well they are growing on one metric and one metric alone. The number of new customers you are acquiring per year. The number of new customers you are acquiring per year. Why? Why? Because the easiest customer to get is the one that you already have. It is significantly easier to get somebody to come back and purchase a second time than it is to go out and find a new person and have them purchase for the first time. And this is just a fundamental rule of most businesses, but specifically this business. And I alluded earlier to how important it is to not sell in galleries so that you know who is purchasing your work. There is a phenomenon in here. I stole it from this guy, so I always give him credit. Hold on, I'm going to grab his book. I stole this from Weiland, okay? Weiland is the whale guy. Most would say the best-selling artist in the United States. By the way, this book fire. Okay, insane, amazing. You need to go buy it. Honestly, I should be on commission for this. In fact, he's got a gallery close to where I live. I'm going to go in there and get it. Short, sweet, no fluff. I'm sorry, here it is. But the rub is it's not on Amazon. I think he donates 100% of the proceeds to charities, so you have to buy it from his website. But honestly, Google this book and buy this book. Weiland defines a collector as someone that will purchase in upwards of 7+ pieces of art from him over the course of a lifetime. And this is a phenomenon I see played out continually with my own customer base. But when you have collectors, it's a phenomenon of this business, right? Like there's certain product categories that have collectors, right? If you ask my 7-year-old kid, it's those damn Pokemon cards. They're all over my floor right now. You guys would laugh if you saw these. But shoes, cars, wristwatches, art is one of them. And it's a fantastic thing because you will keep creating throughout the course of your life. And these collectors will just go along for the ride. You keep raising prices, they keep coming and buying and buying and buying. Oh, that's awesome. Emma just said that book is on Spotify for free. I did not know that. Definitely listen to it. You want to highlight it, though. I'm not kidding. Great book. Where was I going with all that? So if we know the most important thing an art business can have as a collector, and then we know in order for a collector to become a collector, they first have to purchase something, that underscores how important it is to have non-wall art as a part of the lineup, okay? That's the 0 to 100 range. Also in there, you obviously have small prints. And then let's say you're 100 to 1,000, you get into some bigger size prints, right? Your metals, your canvas, your acrylic, you go through that 0 to 1,000 range, and maybe close to the 1,000 range, you're in limited editions, and then above that, you have your originals. Everyone has to adjust it a little bit to taste. But you also need something obscenely expensive in the store. And let's say that you sell your originals, just to keep the math simple, at like $1,000. I want one in there for 10 grand. And why? Why one in there for 10 grand? That's crazy. I'm never going to sell that thing. I don't even care if you don't ever sell that thing. You ever been to a car dealership? And you know, in the car dealership, that the big glass box in the middle, I know the car dealership is a miserable feeling in most people's heads because you have to deal with the salespeople. But anyway, the big glass box in the middle, right? Let's say we're at the Toyota dealership. In that big glass box in the middle is the Toyota Supra carbon fiber TRD whatever. It's $275,000, right? There's a reason that they put those cars inside the glass box, and it's because human beings are wired to make purchase decisions based on comparison. We anchor onto certain things to compare to other certain things. And so when we go and look at that $250,000 Supra or the $150,000 Land Cruiser that's inside the glass box, we anchor onto that price point, and it makes us feel just that much better about buying the $60,000 Highlander, right? That's on the outside. And that's a phenomenon called price anchoring, and it's just one of these psychological things that's really, really, really important to do. You feel better knowing that I didn't buy the most expensive thing. It makes you feel a little bit better. That's why you put that high-priced item in there. Also, everyone's followers, yours, mine, any business, that all fall into a thing that I call the socioeconomic bell curve, okay? It's your typical bell curve, exactly what you'd expect. And down at the low end of it, you have the low socioeconomic status. Those people can't afford anything. They'll like, comment, share on your post. They're still good people. Then you have lower income folks, middle class, upper middle class, high net worth individuals, the bell curve, right? You know, what does everyone always say to me all the time? Yeah, I just want to target high net worth buyers. Yeah, good. That's great. You and every other business on the planet, aside from the 99-cent store, wants to target the high net worth buyers, okay? That is why it's insanely difficult to do that. But the point is, you need to have this range of pricing that I'm discussing to be able to cover all of the spots on that bell curve. Because what happens when you do that is you acquire the highest number of customers possible. And the beautiful thing about acquiring the highest number of customers possible is you can market to these folks in the future. The bell curve is not a fixed entity. Your buyers and potential buyers are going up and down that bell curve their entire lives. The one that's living in their mother's basement right now is buying their new house 2 years from now. And you got that sale. Do you want to know why you got that sale? Because you sold them a mug or a mouse pad or a calendar or a whatever, and it sat on their fridge. It could be a sticker, okay, that's on my garage fridge with all the rest of the stickers. And every time I go out to get a beer, which is an enjoyable experience for me, I look at your art, okay? Now I've moved out of my mother's basement and I'm going to go buy a house and you got that sale. And that's how it works. And I get a lot of pushback on the merch. Okay. I'm a fine artist, Patrick. I would never sell that merch, that cheap tchotchke crap. I'm not doing that. To which I respond, let me know the last time any of you went to a museum that didn't have a gift shop. I'll wait. Okay? If Van Gogh's Starry Night is on the wall, and you can also buy a Starry Night poster in the gift shop for $22 plus tax, I'm pretty sure Van Gogh's not losing any sleep over it. Technically, he's really asleep. He's dead. But you get the point, okay? You get the point. You ever been to a concert that hasn't had merch? I don't think so, okay? The Rolling Stones, take your pick, okay? Merch is very, very important in the simple lens that you acquire more customers as a result of it. So having that price range is huge. What is one of the most defeating things that happens to artists and photographers out there? You worked hours on a piece. I mean, hours. It took so much time. You're going to sell this thing for $800. And what happens? Someone's like, yeah, that's beautiful. Would you take $25 for it? Oh, you're just deflated, right? Like this person is just, I mean, it's like a troll on social media. I mean, they have just ruined your entire day. The beautiful thing is, when you have the range of pricing, it doesn't happen as much. It almost doesn't happen at all. Because people understand, they have a context of where things are in your lineup. Oh, this is $100 and under. Oh, this is $100 to $1,000. Oh, this is over $1,000. Oh, that's the $5,000 piece. And what's more, when you get those folks who don't know any better, okay, most of them are not yet people, they just don't know any better. You can be like, oh, that's fantastic. I love that you have the interest. That one costs quite a bit more, but let me show you what is in your range. And then we gently guide them to where we are in our range. Do you know how much better that is for your self-esteem? Okay, let me tell you, significantly better. It is significantly better for your self-esteem. You are going to be a happier and better functioning member of society, okay? Your significant other is like, this is awesome. Why are you in such a good mood? It's because you have the range of pricing. Very, very important. That's pricing. I'm going to send you a follow-up article on it after this whole thing's over. In addition to the pricing, the next thing I want to talk about is Instagram. Most important social network for artists and photographers. It's not even close. Secondarily, it's Facebook. Okay, have to be working on both of them. Well, Patrick, what about TikTok, or what about Pinterest, or what about SEO? Yeah, what about shiny objects that are not going to move your business anywhere and are going to put you on the road to a hobby? All right, that's what all the rest are. I don't care what anyone else says, anyone's friends, anyone. No one is selling art on any of the rest of those things, okay? They are lying to you if they're saying they are. It's nonsense. I've looked at way too much data. Aside from onesies, twosies here with weird circumstances, the two most important places that you need to be are Instagram and secondarily Facebook. And thank God for that. Okay, don't talk to me about TikTok. I'll kick you right out of this Zoom. You are lying to yourself, okay? Stupid Chinese app, communist app that is just trying to flood you with an endorphin hit. You got 10,000 views. You didn't get 10,000 views. You got 100 views from people that are never going to buy your work, okay? So when we stay focused on the only two platforms that matter, to the detriment of wasting time on any of the rest of those ones, I don't care. Just stay out of there. Stay in my lane. Facebook and Instagram and Facebook. You will end up winning. And why is Instagram the most important? What do you guys create? You create visual creations. What is Instagram? A giant visual search engine. Imagine that. Lines up pretty nicely, right? The beautiful thing is that Instagram has become, over the years, evolved into the credit check for artists and photographers. What do I mean by that? I'm going to buy something. I saw something. My neighbor had something. It's really important for me to keep up with the Jones. I'm going to go look at what he got. And what am I doing? I'm going instantaneously to Amazon. I'm going to read the reviews. Was that thing good? Is there a better one? Maybe there's a better one. Maybe I can one-up this guy because I got to keep up with the Jones. Now, we check Amazon is a way of getting credit checks, like getting the reviews of what something is, right? So you could say Consumer Reports or some of the other sites too. For artists and photographers, it's like, hey, I just saw this. I'm at your friend's house. You sold some art to your friend. I saw that. That's a great piece. Who did that? Oh, yeah, it's my buddy. It's my cousin, Mark McClanahan over there. And you should check him out. You know what they're going to do? They're going to pull out Instagram, and they're going to look for you, and they're going to look at your profile, and are they going to say, is this an artist that's doing anything? Is this an artist that's putting out content regularly? Are they on the up and up? Do they have 2 followers or 2,000 followers, right? And it's very, very important to understand, one, that Instagram offers a credit check, okay? So fundamentally, it's important just for that matter. 2, secondarily, and I should also say, like, you know, the data in this industry is so utterly, totally, completely opaque. right? Like there's so much nonsense out there. It's mind boggling, but there's two outfits that report on the super high end of the art market. One's the Hiscox Group, it's an insurance entity out of London. And the other is Art Basel teams up with UBS Paine Weber, I think. I think that's who it is. The two of them put out a report. And what they do is they survey every year all of the folks that are essentially buying $100,000 pieces and up. And every single solitary year, I've watched the results of those reports when it comes out, and every year it ticks up. Did you follow and or consume content from an artist on Instagram? Was Instagram influential in your buying decision? And in both cases, both of their surveys, like those percentages are really pretty high. So it's significant in its ability to help you guys sell art. The top end, high end buyers are all there. Okay. So that makes it very important as well. The beautiful thing about Instagram is you can reach a ton of buyers. The terrible thing about Instagram is you have to post frequently on it for years to really make a huge dent. So yeah, one, you got to get started. Two, you have to understand you're going to suffer in the short term because it's not easy and you have to learn how to do it and you have to learn how to enjoy it and get good at it. And we can talk about that in depth. I have a ton of teaching on Instagram. But the beautiful thing that exists currently on Instagram, and I love this. Okay, we're going to do a little social media history lesson. But Facebook emerged. Facebook pretty much became a monopoly. Okay, power was unchecked. Then a new rising competitor came along, and Facebook is like, we can't have any competition. It was Instagram. We're going to go buy those folks. So they bought them. Okay, great. Now Facebook's even more powerful. It's Facebook and Instagram. I'm streaming on their platform when I'm saying this, so I get banned. You guys will know why. Zuckerberg kicks my door, and you'll know why. So now they own these two platforms. So the playbook was, we are a monopoly. If any competitors come along, we're just going to buy them. Okay. Snapchat emerges. Snapchat starts taking all of these young kids away from Facebook and Instagram. They're like, all right, what does the playbook say to do in this situation? Let me see the playbook. Mark, it says if we have a competitor, go and buy them. All right, somebody go and buy Snapchat. So they go and try and buy Snapchat. Snapchat says pound sand. Mark's like, okay, what does the playbook say now? We don't know. He goes, all right, we're just going to copy them verbatim. And so Snapchat had these things called stories that disappeared after 24 hours, and Facebook copied them verbatim. So, okay, now Snapchat peters out. I mean, who's using that? I don't know. Some kids, whatever. It's whatever. I don't want to talk about it. The next one came along. This time it was TikTok. And Mark Zuckerberg went right back to the playbook. He's like, okay, this is awesome. TikTok is starting to steal a bunch of our users. It's competition. What should I do? Let's go try and buy them. He goes and tries and buy them again. They tell him no. He said, my wife is Chinese. Let me buy you. They still said no. So the next thing they do is they're like, okay, what does the playbook say next? Copy them verbatim. And so that's what they did. And by the way, the other social players were watching, and now YouTube watched, and they're like, okay, let's copy them verbatim. So what did TikTok have? These short form little videos that were 120 seconds or less and were very compelling cell phone style video size. They copied that feature verbatim and called it Instagram Reels. YouTube saw that, copied that feature verbatim, called it YouTube Shorts. I could cycle through the 3 views of those 3 different products, and you could almost not tell the difference. They even put the buttons in the same place as copycats. Anyway, why it was a brilliant thing, TikTok coming along, is it destroyed what has been up to that point in time the social contract. What is a social contract? What do I mean by that? Hey, art storefronts, work really hard on my platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and post a bunch of content. When you do, people will follow you and become fans. After you earn those followers and those fans, some small portion of what you create will be shown to those followers and fans for free. Early on in the days, it was like 90%. Recently, it's like 2 to 5%. Tiny, almost nothing, right? So that is what the social contract was. TikTok, God bless them, despite the fact that I don't like the platform and think it's evil, has been still siphoning off users from Instagram at an alarming rate. It's all the younger kids and the people that are chasing likes that are not real and chasing views that are not real. It's a worthless platform. Anyway, so what they've done is they've torn up the social contract. So now, where we are is we're in a scenario where you can get onto Instagram and you can have 2 followers, your significant other and your mother, okay? She likes and comments on everything. God bless you. Thank you, Mom. You can create content in the form of an Instagram Reel. And an Instagram Reel can potentially, if it's good, be seen by hundreds, by thousands, by even millions. in which case you organically marketing without leaving your house, showing off your creations, understanding the platform, can get free reach. It used to be you didn't get that. And it used to be you had to pay a ton of money in terms of Facebook and Instagram ads to get that attention. Now you can do that without leaving your house. And that's an incredible, incredible thing. So it represents a huge, huge opportunity. And so that's where we stand right now as it sits in 2023. I believe Instagram is the most amazing platform that exists that can bring you guys buyers, bring you guys fans, bring you guys email addresses, and yes, sell your art with photography, but you have to get good at marketing it. You have to understand how to post. You have to work on your posting frequency, and you have to learn to love it. You have to learn to love it. So it's really, really important. Yeah, and Jatinder's like, hey, can you please? It does get easier, though, to learn to love it. Sorry, that was a little jarring there. With time, a little bit of energy, a little bit of practice, right? You know, I sat there listening to that, despite the fact that I was on a Friday and I was having a little bit of fun and being a little bit of a preachy. You know, it's true. I believe the only way to make it and grow a business, it would be helpful if you could see me, is to understand that you need to do the marketing yourself, and that, to put it in the words of one of my customers, no one is coming to discover you. No one is coming to do the work for you. No one is coming to see whether or not you want to get in the gallery. It's on you to do it, and when you do it, there's great ways to achieve it. One thing I want to press you guys on before we go is, sort of had the epiphany like 3 weeks ago. We've been at this for close to 10 years, and we're blessed to have some folks that are in the top 1% of artists and photographers that are selling in the United States currently as customers. And we haven't really done a good job as a business, bringing these guys out and starting to show them off. And so we sort of made a decision, like, what are we doing? We need to do this more often, more frequently. And so during the last 2 weeks, I'm getting the links ready for this, and I'm throwing them in the chat. The first one, so we just started this series. The first one I just threw into the chat. This kid's named Jonah. He's been with us for 4 years. He's 29 years old. He's selling $100,000 of his work a month. Really, really impressive story. Like, incredible to hear his interview and go through it. I threw that link in the chat. I think you guys should all click that and watch it. What I've been doing is I've been grabbing the customers in question, kind of running like a 1 hour interview with them. And then after the 1 hour interview, I just open it up to Q&A. And anybody can ask any question. And so the next one that I just did was with Meg Knappenberger, and I'm throwing that in the chat right there. So if you guys look at the bottom of your Zoom window, so you probably don't have to spend all day on this terrible app like I do, so you don't know. At the bottom of this, there's like a little chat bubble thing, and you click that out, and it pops out this little box, and inside the little box are the links, and you can get those. Get out of the way. So it's that YouTube one and that blog post. I would just click them and save them. It's been really, really interesting running those and hearing from them. And Meg, I should say, I think she's been with us for 7 years, and she's over the $1 million mark, and then some, and has a really, really impressive business model. So, it's great to hear from individuals that are really, truly doing it, and sort of how they think about things, how they approach things, how they approach discounting, how they approach sales, what's worked for them, how they're driving demand, and like get their stories, and you can see their social media sites and everything else. So those two are very, very good. And then the plan is that as soon as I can like wrangle, these folks up and get to do some interviews, I want to continue doing them. So you'll get emails about them, and you can totally come onto the Zoom, watch the session, ask any questions, or I'll send you the thing after the fact. But they have really, really impressive stories, and I think there's a ton to learn from it. And more than anything else, like, again, been doing this a long time, it's a damn lonely road. Most of you guys are solopreneurs. It's just you. You don't have the team. Maybe your significant other, and there's ups and there's downs, and it's very easy to hit it down and be like, oh man, this is killing me. Get me out of here, right? So I think it's really, really helpful to hear the stories of the folks that are way over $1 million mark, all are doing it completely direct. Jonah has, I think, like 8,000 followers on Instagram. Meg has like 12,000, and neither one of them have big lists. So it's something you can absolutely do, and you can absolutely get there, and it's a very, very impressive thing. So enough of that ranting. I know I saw some questions about Instagram. Super pro Instagram coming up like these next 2 weeks. Really going to be hammering the Instagram tutorials. Get into the finer points about how to create these things, how easy it is. totally demystify what they're like, how you can start doing them, doing it easily, and how it just really is that effective. I mean, as annoying as it is on social media, and I should say I'm a social media expert. I hate social media. I hate posting on it. I hate it. But I'm contrarian enough to know that if your business is to get attention and get eyeballs on your art, you have to go to where the attention is. And right now, that's on those two sites. If you're an artist, a photographer, it just is. And the fact that you can do all of it with this thing without leaving your house is pretty damn remarkable. It's a remarkable time that we live in. So, all right, enough of that. Let's get into questions. It could be anything about anything. Whether any of you guys decide that you want to sign up for art storefronts or not, my greatest joy is that you get some value out of this session. So please come with the questions, thick, fast, anything that you're struggling with, all up and down the stack. I would love to answer anything and everything. So questions, if you're one of the brave ones, has your camera on, okay, you have a question, you can do the old school hand raise. I'll see that. For everyone else, at the very, very bottom of the Zoom window, there's this little smiley face and it says reactions. And if you click the reactions, there's a way to raise your hand digitally speaking. It won't show up on my screen, sadly, but yeah, so Ellen just did it. Perfect. And that lets me know you have a question. That kind of gives me a cue, and I can work down those. And then, yeah, we can go from there. And you don't have to turn your camera on. If you don't have to turn your camera on, by the way, I have a face for radio. If this wasn't my job, you would never see me. Okay, I wouldn't put that on you. So there's that. And then also, if you're one of the ones that's watching on Facebook and Instagram, I see your comments too. Thank you for that, Valerie. That's a very nice message. All right, Cynthia, don't worry. I'm going to come to you after Ellen, and then it'll go Margot, and then we can just work through the entire thing. So, Ellen, you're up first. Go ahead, Ellen. And then, Cynthia, I'll get you next. Oh, you'll need to unmute.
Hi.
Yep, gotcha. Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I wanted to thank you for providing this opportunity for us. I have a question about the contract.
Yes.
So one of the things that has prohibited me from wanting to take the dive in is that I don't want to join something that I don't know what my rights are as an artist for. Obviously, if we're going to be directing our collectors to this platform, that you're not going to be soliciting them for other artists, that our contacts are actually ours, and that we have a way to audit the sales to know that every print that's sold, we actually get paid on.
Gotcha. So the disconnect that you have there is it's not a marketplace.
Okay.
Right? It's like it's your website. It's, ellenbenfati.com or whatever you want it to be. And with us, you own everything. Like it's your website, it's your email list. All of the sales are yours, all the customers are yours, and there's no cross-pollination whatsoever. And we certainly do have a contract. You could certainly absolutely review it, but you could just as quickly ask like any of our thousands of customers. We don't play
Right.
we don't play those games in the slightest. Like with us,
Okay.
the artist owns absolutely everything. There's literally no cross-pollination. It's like fundamental to what we believe, right? Because if you look at the traditional world that you guys live in, whether it's a gallery model or whether it's the online marketplace model, you don't even know who purchases your work. They don't even tell you, which
Right.
is the road to poverty. So with us, you own everything. You always will own everything. You take all of it with you if you ever decide to leave, and that's how it goes. Like we host the website, but it's your URL. You point it at the website, and then if you ever decide to change it, boom, you point it right back. So that's how we do it.
And then I was talking with one of your associates
Mm-hmm.
a few days ago, and I have so much that I'm juggling.
Yeah.
I had to go, but I wasn't completely clear on the initial fee. He was saying something about 3 years later. So is it a one-time fee that we pay and then monthly after that, or is it every 3 years you have to pay that big fee?
Yeah, great question. The easiest way to think about what we do, and it's really hard to compare us to anyone else because what everyone gets in their mind is like, okay, these guys are essentially a website company, and I've looked at what the other websites cost, and what do their websites cost? And yes, we have the website, the company, all the bells, whistles, the website, the connections, Okay, great. Table that for a second. The difference is what happens after you get the website. And what happens after you get the website is 6 days a week, sometimes multiple times a day, there are Zoom sessions just like this for life. And you are trained, and you are supported, and you are unstuck, and you are motivated, and you are harassed lightly if you're not doing your job, but light harassment, okay? Consistently all year long, and it never stops. and it never stops. And that's what we figured out the secret sauce is. We started as a company and we built the best art selling website on the planet. Yay, that's wonderful. We came to realize that no one on this call, no one has website problems. None. If I was the genie, I came out of the lamp. I was like, Ellen, where do you want your website to be? I'll build it right now. Snap of the finger. Do you know what changes in your business? Absolutely nothing, because there's no one coming to it. And so if we don't fix the real problem, then you're not going to sell any art or photography. And so what we realized, we needed to take, like, for lack of a better, did you have fun in college? Did you go to college? Was it an energy up experience?
I did.
I did too. So otherwise I wouldn't say it's a college, but that's what we are. We're like a postgraduate university. It just never stops. It's funny because I have like a little montage video and I want to show it because everyone's going to have the same questions. It's really short and I'll stop it. But this is honestly what I believe to be the secret sauce of what we do as a business now. These sessions multiple times a week, every single solitary day, with me, with the CEO of the company, with other members of my
do I do the email and potentially send it to?
How do I capitalize on these people who are interacting with me on my personal page?
But what I want you to do in that custom artwork strategy is promote the pet portraits to that audience.
So how is it that the print cost is paid or charged?
How wide do we go in terms of niches?
Do you have any like advice or playbook for showing your stuff on a coffee place?
How to make these reels more interactive.
How often should I be advertising and how much should I be spending?
How do I build enough followers to make things go in the sort of secondary stuff?
The cool thing that we've done recently, and by the way, none of you need a website. You know what you need? That. You need that. Because that right there, when you're with a group of your peers, you're learning every single solitary week. You're getting marketing advice, you're getting business advice, you're getting pricing advice. You see a bunch of people on a call that are just like you, that are all struggling with figuring out how marketing for their first time in their lives, and it keeps you motivated, it keeps you moving forward, it keeps you fed, for like lack of a better term, and it's amazing. And in addition to that, one of the cool things we've done recently is Zoom has these things called breakout rooms, and it's basically just like a Zoom within a Zoom. And so the way that it works is there's a calendar in your website on the back end, and it lists all the sessions for the week. And every single solitary one of those sessions, if you need to pop in and get support, you go in there and you put in the chat, I need support, and boom, they put you right with an agent and video. You get whatever it is fixed, and then you can go back to office hours or you can leave. And it's like that, like I said, sometimes 6 days a week, 5 days a week, sometimes multiple times a day, and it never ends. It literally never ends. So that one-time payment goes for the army of folks that support you through that entire journey, and you pay it once and that's it.
That's okay. Just once. Okay. Yeah. That was really my only question, my two questions. It looks good to me.
Awesome. Yeah. I think, it's funny because I'm run the marketing department here, and I'm responsible for all the social media. I'm responsible for a whole bunch of different things, but I'm constantly looking at the comments, right? And there was a guy in there in the comments just lighting us up like crazy, right? And he was a customer, and he ended up leaving, right? And he's like, I've been with these guys for like 5-6 months, or like a year and a half, and I sold like 3 or 4 things to family and friends, and that's it, right? And I see that, and it breaks my heart, and I go in and I look at it, and like every time someone leaves like that, the same thing happens. And why am I bringing that up now, right? Like, I believe as a business, what we do at Art Storefronts, we give you the greatest set of circumstances that exist to grow an art of photography business, more so than anyone else out there. But I think where we failed in the past a little bit is setting the expectations that somehow you can sign up and not do any work, right? So if you're on the line and you're ready to make the question, you're like, I'm ready to do this, potentially ready to do this. If you're ready to work and learn how to do all the marketing and do it consistent and stay consistent, you'll do great. If it's like, yeah, I just want another website, then then it's a questionable decision. So where do you fall on that scale? Because I'm curious.
Well, I've been an artist for just going on 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I have collectors, and I didn't keep track of everybody. I've done everything wrong that you said on your first thing that I watched. So I've built websites for my art in the past. I have one right now. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely know that without marketing and the ability for people to click and buy, it's going to be very challenging for me to build this into where I want to be. And I mean, I've sold 6 figures a year in originals.
Nice.
I have not done prints. I signed up with a company that provided prints. It's a very well-known company. They sell prints all over the world. And I was new. This was in 2012. I signed a 3-year contract.
Okay.
And I did not have the ability to, I didn't know, I was naive, but I didn't have the ability to audit, to do a self audit for them. And they ended up selling work all over the world of mine. And they took my name off the paintings and they changed the colors through Photoshop. And so I've kind of gotten my teeth kicked in. I just found a painting of mine through Linus Gallery. That's my painting that they've copywritten. I have another painting that I saw on Wayfair that somebody changed, and they have it trademarked. So, I ask the hard questions because I think I've walked into galleries where I had a piece of mine that was shown in the same town within 6 months, and somebody had it on a wall in a collective gallery with a blue ribbon, and it was my work. They printed it off the internet. They put acrylic over the top. They glued it to masonite. I mean, everything that could go wrong for an artist has happened to me. And I think that it's a good thing because my work must be good if people want to seal it.
Yes, it's flattering. It is well done that you can see it that way, because you need to be flattered at first, right?
But my heart has been broken so many times now that it's kind of turned me into Joan of Arc, and I'm really ready to move forward. I'm 55 and I'm a realtor, and I've been running the 2 lanes for a long time, and I'm tired of the real estate, and I really want to build a successful business. I have not, once I pulled out of the prints, I have not offered prints, limited editions, anything like that. I've always kind of shied away from it after that experience.
You have to.
But I know now that, especially in the digital age, that it's super important. And,
people get emotional about it all the time, and it's like there's no room for emotion in it. It's just the maths of the business, right? Like,
it's business. You can only make money
the
two
easiest
ways:
customer to
price or
get.
volume.
The easiest customer to get is the one that you already have, and that'll always be the case. And so, when artists don't have that lower end of the price point scale open, then folks love their creativity, want to reward them for it, and they're not ready to buy an original. And so they go. And the math say if they go, they're never coming back ever again. And yet if you make the sale and you acquire the customer and you have the ability to market to them in the future, when they're ready to buy the original, you're top of mind, and that's where they come back. That's how it goes. So I want you acquiring thousands of customers a year, and I'm not kidding. And I don't care what the price point is, because I know if I keep you marketing consistently, that somebody that buys a mug today comes and buys a $25,000 original 3 years from now. That's the way that it works in the real world. That's just how it works, right? So yeah.
I have another quick question. So I met with a business coach a couple days ago, and he reviewed everything, and he told me, to work on, the smaller items as well.
Good.
But he said, as far as I was telling him about your site and that I was interested in joining it, and he talked about like the greeting cards, like doing a pack of greeting cards. And I haven't looked at it to find out, but can you do a package of like 5 greeting cards, or are they individual?
You can, I would need to find out. All of the samples that I've gotten are all a mixed bag. So I think it's just how you want to combine them in your store. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But anyways, I think anything that you're doing to help artists take control of their work and teach them what they need to do is just lovely. I just want to thank you for that.
I really appreciate you saying that. And no more losing email addresses on your purchases. You got the whole rest of your life to sell art. I routinely get people in their 80s and 90s on these calls asking advice, which is amazing. You guys don't ever turn it off, right? You don't ever stop being an artist. So, you have some large period of time left to nail this and get this going. So let's get it going.
Okay.
Thanks, Son. Okay, Margot, you'll be up next. But Cynthia had her hand up, and then I will get to Margot. Go ahead, Cynthia. And you'll need to unmute, Cynthia.
Okay.
Yep, gotcha.
Hi. Okay, hi. So I'm like one of those people you just mentioned, the older ones. I just turned 70. And I've been an artist most of my life, as a child and have been in like textile arts and fashion designing and making clothes for that particular collector type client. But I'm really staying home now, and I like to do my work at home.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of painting. I like to paint Virgin Mary. I like angels. I do different things, Renaissance. But I have a lot of different things that I'm doing. Like, so what you said was that we should have stuff that's not wall hanging as well, to kind of like fill in the gaps. And people that I've talked to, you know, the negative ones that they're like, well, you're all over the place. You should, you know, just stick to one kind of thing and just work on it and work on that.
Yeah,
and then,
so it's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
I can't. I get bored.
Yeah.
Just doing one thing.
Everyone has a well-meaning friend that's had a degree of success in their life.
Mostly family.
Yeah,
so.
and they're like, you need to hit a niche. You need to like have a narrowly defined niche. And do you know what I've discovered? You know, the last near 10 years of doing this is there's no one way that works for everybody. And to be honest with you, isn't. I have more customers that don't have the niche than I do customers that do have the niche. I mean, one of our most successful photographers, he takes photos of like industrial bridges at night. And then do you know what his other niche is? Going into a certain park that has something to do with a mouse and taking photos of the rides.
I was just going to say,
how
cats.
close are those two? They're not even close at all. He's doing great. So
exactly. You know, I like doing the Latino art, you know, Dia de los Muertos and all that, and I like doing, you know, still lifes with food, and you know, I've been throughout different educational, you know, colleges. The last one was Trade Tech. I went back to see if I could get my fashion degree, but then we got the COVID and we had to shut down everything. So I just started working at home, watching YouTube. I know how to work and sew and make patterns and do all my work on that. So I work for myself and I work when I want to.
Good.
But now I'm at the place where I got to sell some really good stuff that's like all my old art that I did a lot, like a series. I lived in Oaxaca back in when I was 21 years old.
Which, by the way, is now like the food capital of Mexico.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I lived in the jungle with the Zapotec Indians. I was an anthropology student at the time. I was 21. I am now 70 years old. But that was one of my greatest art experiences because I traveled, you know, to villages with my girlfriend who was another anthropologist. And I did all my sketching, and when I came home, and I did a whole series of the Zapotec Indians in daily life. And they're all, you know, singular. I want to do prints and see what I can sell, but I'm not really sure of how to go by, like that last lady you talked to. I feel so bad for her that she didn't have anybody to really guide her, because that's what I worry about, is copyright, prints. Now, I have my website that I purchased this year and I haven't done anything with it, and it just really, I wanted to own my name, which is, my last name is Calderete. It's Alderete, but I put the C in front of it, and if you go to calderete.com, that's my website, and it's called Calderete Wearable Arts.
Wonderful.
I don't have anything really on there to sell because I'm not sure about how to set it all up, and it's supposed to be hands-on.
Yeah, it's
and
with us. You
I'm
don't
not
even
going to
set
mention
it
the
up.
name of the company because I don't want you to get dinged on that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Yeah, we set everything up for you, so you know, on our end, you don't even have to build the website at all. We do 100% of that for you because we realized that.
Well, that I know that my name, I don't want anybody else to get it because I didn't get the subscription paid because I had this other guy working on it, and when I went to look for it one day, it said it was up for sale. My name.
Oh, because
and I'm like, what?
The domain lapsed. Yeah.
The domain, yeah.
That's
so I got it back. Now I'm paying $23 a month for that just to be safe. When my picture's up there, it says coming soon.
Yeah.
There's a few little samples. I don't have prices. I don't have a marketplace set up. And I'm like, okay, I'm paying $23 a month just to save my name.
Yeah, that's something whoever advised you on that advised you incorrectly. That's way too expensive to spend it on a monthly basis. You don't need to pay $23 a month. It costs $14.99 to register it for a year. That's it. And then you just need to make sure that the credit card that's on file doesn't expire. And so you set yourself a yearly reminder. But we teach you how to do all this stuff. Don't worry.
Okay. And so that's what I'm examining that. And then do you guys give us, like I said, I want to do prints. I don't know anything about making prints. I have all digital work.
That's the beautiful thing. You don't have to know anything about making prints. All you have to do is just upload the images, and you let the professionals take care of it. It's glorious.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So we integrate with one printer on the West Coast named Bay Photo, and you can elect to go with them. Another one on the East Coast called Graphic Dimensions. You pick either of the two, and then we have a merch partner that we integrate with as well. And it's a one-click integration, and then you have the ability to sell all of these things. And the order comes in, you get paid, they get paid, they print it, they ship it, they box it, put your logo on it, and they send it off. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, because I got a lot of stuff. I have no room. I do hand-painted shoes, like like Vans or whatever slip-on shoe you want. I do all kinds of like textile and hand painting. And I make a lot of those and sell them to personal clients. I have personal clients because I've been a hair and makeup artist all my life since I was 18.
Yep.
And I just recently, kind of retired because I don't want to do that anymore. I love it, but I don't want to do it. I want to stay home. I don't want to be on somebody else's deadline. I work for myself, and I get orders to make wedding gowns and beautiful dresses, costumes. I work for WWF guys, wrestlers, and make their logos and their costumes and gear. And I can do all that, but I got to get a good assistant to help me. But the business end is such a, it affects my mind.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. That's what we're here for. What you should do is get a demo. They walk you through the whole process, show you all the bells and whistles and prices and everything else. There's buttons for that all over the website, all over the emails, and they can kind of explain to you more. But I think we can help you.
Okay, so first step, who am I going to contact first?
I will have somebody contact you just because it's one less thing that you need to do. Hold on. Let me write it down.
Yeah. Besides that, I'm a caregiver here at the house for my elder brother. So that's why I don't want to go anywhere anymore. I just want to work out of my house.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about technology today is you can do that. Okay. I'll have somebody reach out. They'll email you after the fact.
Great.
Thanks.
Okay.
Again.
Thank you.
Good talking.
Bye.
I want to hear about Oaxaca later. Okay, Margot, you're up. Go ahead. Where do you want to start?
Hi. I don't know. I'm just this thing about this contract with first of all, I would like to know, I mean, I'm willing to do a lot of work myself and I already do, but is there a 1 month or 3 week or 2 week or 4 week free trial of art storefronts? Because I feel like, I mean, no matter what you say or what anyone says, I feel like I really just I don't want to buy, I'm savvy, and I don't want to buy anything that isn't going to do what, and I know it's probably going to be, you're going to say it's impossible to tell in 1 month, but I just don't want to really put money down on anything until I at least can see a little bit of what it does. So do you offer like any kind of free trial?
No, we don't. We never have. And I think, the danger that you have in your head, the premise is like, okay, I'll try it out for a month, and if I get the results instantaneously, that'll be great. If anyone's promising you results at all, you got to run. It's snake oil. Like,
I knew you were going to say that.
For most folks, the best you can do, by the way, is go onto our Facebook page and go to the reviews tab. And despite the fact we have like 50 reviews on there for Forex trading and erectile dysfunction pills because Facebook is ridiculous. There's a bunch of real artists that are on there that are customers. And I would just send 10 of them a message and say, hey, how's it going? What were your expectations? Has it been met? Has it worked out for you? What is it looking like? I mean, that's the best you can do in terms of all of that. I mean, the one thing that I will say is that we're not like some giant evil corporate entity. We're still like a.
I was not implying that.
I know, but I'm trying to persuade you. What I'm saying is like, if you signed up and 6 months down the line you were like, This was totally.
Yeah, but I would have already spent some money, and that's
for sure.
I know you need to spend money to make money, but the question is I don't spend money on things unless I already know what they do.
Yeah, yeah. I would.
You see my dilemma.
It is a dilemma.
I'm really sorry. I'm not saying. I mean, your website, your company might be awesome and help a lot of people. I'm not putting it down. It's just that I have been taken before. I have to be honest. And I once bought something that didn't work and I paid $60 for it. And then there's other things, I rented an apartment once and it was a piece of, and just, I want to stop making stupid mistakes like that. But thank you so much for these lectures and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, Margo. And I would say you keep hanging around and consuming the free stuff until you get the warm and fuzzy feeling. But you don't want to go into it with that mindset.
I have the mindset. I just don't have the money. Yeah. I mean, I have the money, but I need to spend it wisely.
Yes, always.
I don't have money shooting out of my nose. So no. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. I wish I had money shooting out of my nose. That would be extremely cool. But yeah, I would just hang around and consume more content. I think in time there you'll be like, okay, I trust these people. We're good people here. And Maida, I'm gonna grab you next. And one thing I would say, Margo, is when I say we're good people, if you signed up and 6 months in, you're like, this is totally nonsense, and then you went to the person that signed you up and was like, look, man, this is just not what I had in mind. And then threaten them with a really negative review, they're gonna end up giving you the money back. We're not tyrants like that. We really aren't. But trust me, if you're in a position where you're ready to work and do it, I do not believe that there's a better outfit on the net than us. And I believe that any and all of the negative feedback that we've gotten over the years, and don't get me wrong, there's been some occasional tech issues here or there, and people have gotten upset about that. But the people that are not leaving the business, that have left, they didn't do anything. They just showed up and they expected fish to jump in the boat, right? And sales to magically come out of nowhere. And those people have rightly left upset. But you know what those people do? They rightly leave upset, and then they go to the next thing and they don't do any work, and nothing ever changes in their business. We're not like some sort of magical elixir, but we do keep you moving. But okay, Maida, you're up next.
I just want to respond because my experience was the same. I have been going from a from company to company, and I find that I finally signed up with you guys, and I want to say I have been very impressed with the customer service, with the support, with the knowledge base, and I'm so happy I invested the money.
But you're still learning a ton right now, and let me guess, you likely feel overwhelmed right now, right? Because there's so much to learn, and that feeling doesn't go away. But Maida, the funny thing is you're now for the first time working on the real problem, right? The moving around from one venue to another venue to another venue, nothing ever changes in the business. You got to fix the real problem, which is start building an audience, and that's what we're really good at teaching you how to do.
Exactly. And before I did the same thing. It's I would subscribe somewhere and they would give me the platform, but I'm not an expert on marketing of art. I'm an expert of creating my own art, right? So what I find different about your business model is you're really vested in helping us and teaching us, because if we're successful, you're successful. Exactly. If you're successful, we're successful. So I feel it's more of a partnership. And yes, it was a huge investment, but I don't regret making this investment really, because now I'm gonna stay with you for a very, very long time. Hopefully until I do art or you sell the company, right? But what I want to say to the audience is that it is very normal, because we all have those experiences in the past where we try things and people overpromise and underdeliver. And I feel with you is you underpromise and overdeliver, because I was shocked when I was talking to my technical advisor Vicky, and she did not have all the answers, but she pulled in her manager and Tanya, and we three of us, we figured things out. Because I have unique art, right? And they were able to help me with things. So I feel this team that was assigned to me is going above and beyond their responsibility to help me be successful. So I can say so far, I don't regret every penny I spent.
Awesome. Awesome. And good timing because Q4 is coming. So we got to get that website live and get ready.
Yeah, I really need to get the website live and ready by the end of this week, and I'm working my pieces. So thank you. I wanted to say thank you for helping us.
Awesome. Really appreciate you saying all that. Thank you, Maida. And just out of curiosity, where are you from with that name originally? Barsumyan.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Persian? It's not Persian.
No. It's funny because I was born in Bulgaria, but I was married to an Armenian, so it's kind of Bulgarian, Armenian, international. But it's an Armenian last name. Yeah.
Got it. That's funny. I was just traveling with some Bulgarian friends. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that at a later date. You'll appreciate it. But thank you and congratulations for being aboard. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks again. And sometimes our communication gets, our wires get crossed because these sessions are technically for folks that are not customers, although our customers can come to any session they want at any point in time. So that's what that is. I think Joy had a question, something about the technology. Is she still on here? And I think she's left. But I will send the replay for anyone that does need to go or has a commitment. Is Joy still on here? I think she is. Hold on. No, she's definitely gone. Okay, guys, who else? Comments, questions, concerns? Can be anything about anything. While we're all on. Cozy Wallace. I love that name, by the way. Great art name. One of my cousin's wife, they have a kid named Cosette. So I like that name. Yeah, so Scott, we're expensive. Scott's like, do you have some notion of what the fees are? We're a website company, and like all website companies, we charge a monthly fee for the website. Where we're expensive is the one-time fee that goes to pay for the aforementioned army of folks that are going to end up supporting you. So I believe our starting fee is somewhere in like $1,500-$1,600, something like that, and then there's the monthly fee. But that's why we do the demo process. And as I said, we're definitely expensive, but it goes to pay for the army that are going to try their best or die trying to make you successful. And don't worry, Margot. I'm not taking you cynically in the slightest. Don't worry, honestly. Like I want you to feel completely comfortable before you make any decision whatsoever. So just hang and watch more content. Subscribe to the podcast is the best notion of what I would do. But okay, what else, guys? Comments, questions? Struggling with something? Niche selection, branding, running Facebook ads, pricing, anything, everything? I definitely want you guys to watch those 2 episodes with Meg and Jonah. I think you guys will be blown away. And you'll really, I think, appreciate it. And Ellen's going to come back on. Okay, go ahead, Ellen. You got to unmute again. Mic icon, bottom left-hand corner.
Okay,
gotcha.
Got it. Okay, so sorry. I had a house that showed up to see it this morning and it was flooded from a broken pipe.
Oh, good times.
That I'm in escrow on with a client, so I'm navigating an emergency.
Yeah, good times.
So anyways, my question is this. So I know you've got that add-on for the marketing, I think it is.
Copilot, yeah.
Okay. And so we still have to pay for the ads, right?
So it's not.
Or how does that work? Are the ads
ads
included?
Yeah, it's not ads. What Copilot does is, because we have your entire database of images on the website, right? We have access to that. So Copilot integrates to your website. We have your email list. We integrate to your Facebook page and your Instagram page, and we start proactively marketing and posting on your behalf. Now, there's certain stuff that we can do in that capacity that's great. The stuff that we can't do in that capacity because it's not on your website is your process, what makes you interesting, what makes you tick, you know, the videos that you're potentially creating on social, and we teach you how to do those if you haven't yet. You know, photos, sometimes telling fun stories about how, yay, I'm in escrow today, and it looks like my customer might be getting new floors in the deal because the pipe has burst, right? So we can't do that kind of stuff for you. So I usually don't talk about it on these sessions because what everyone wants to hear is like, they're going to do all the marketing for me, which no, we're not going to do all the marketing for you, but we're going to do a large portion of it. But the fun thing about it is too, is that because we have access to the website, we're now like actively running sales too, right? And people are like, well, what does that mean? So let's say we have a sale coming up, and we don't run sales like anyone else runs sales. We've been doing this for a long time, so it's actually quite complicated operation. One, you set the discount code, whatever it is. It could be 5% off, 10% off, 15% off, 20% off. You have to set that store wide. You have to give it a name. You have to tease the sale with an email and some social posts. You have to announce the sale with some emails and some social posts. You need to change the announcement bar on the website to let everyone know that hits it, hey, it's a sale. Then there's the posts throughout the sale, then 48 hours ending, then sales over, then turn everything back to normal, right? Like there's a lot of work in there. And the fact that we can do all of that now with software is awesome. And, you know, what it allows our customers to do is just fill in with only the stuff that they can do, right? Which would be, in your case, holding the phone up, showing that image behind you, which is also included in the shop, talking about it for a second, and then posting that during the sale, right? So it's a very, very exciting thing. But I know when you sign up, they're throwing in some sort of bundle for it, so you get it free for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And good
that
luck
was my question.
And good luck with the floors. Go beat them up. That's a
yeah.
just
But how do you buy this? Because I don't see any email that I've gotten where I can click on it and say buy your program.
Oh yeah, you have to do it over the phone. It's annoying as hell. It should be there should just be pricing on the website, and you click a button and you just do it. But this is just the way that we've always done things, and I'm trying to change it. So there's that.
Okay, so who do I call?
Who
Ghostbusters?
Who did you talk to last? Who did you talk to last time?
I don't know. Are you kidding me?
I'll find out. I'll find out. Okay. I've got your name written down. I'll find out who's yours, and they will call you.
All right. That sounds good. I'm
luck.
going to jump off. I'm going to get back to work, and I just want to say hi to all the other artists, and nice to meet all of you.
And good luck with the floors.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Never a dull moment on the Zoom calls. Well, thanks for sticking it out, guys, till the very, very end. I will send you a replay in short order after this is done, so that you can view that if you want to go back and see anything. If you ever have any questions, you can come back to one of these. I highly recommend, if you guys listen to podcasts, that you subscribe to our podcast. It's called the Art Marketing Podcast. Looks like that. Anywhere that you might listen to a podcast, you can find it. It's on, Apple, iTunes, Spotify. Anywhere that there's a podcast. Like search as Art Marketing Podcast. Look for that ugly orange logo, and you will have it. And it's very good. And we're releasing episodes on a regular basis. So thank you guys all so much for coming. Appreciate you. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Bye now.